I'm just going to turn it over now so we can see it. Yeah. Perfect. So how did this come about? First of all, describe it.
So this is a canoe made from barbed wire and the leaves of Lamandra longifolia, which is this rushy plant which grows along the creeks. It's a very widespread plant. It grows all over Australia. I made it to get over a really bad case of writer's block. My partner and I were working on a book about the state of the Darling River, and I was finding it really frustrating not being able to... And the book was based on interviews with people on all the rivers in the northern part of the Murray-Darling Basin. We deliberately cast a wide geographical net, and we also ensure that we talk to irrigators and graziers and Indigenous people and local government people and a wide range of people who have interests in the river. And I was really struggling to find my voice in the book and not distort the words of those people that I interviewed. I just shut my computer and walked away from it for about a week and wandered around aimlessly for a day, just trying to not think about it. And then I went down to the creek and cut a whole lot of Lamandra leaves, and the barbed wire came from a disused bush gate in one of the paddocks at home. And I spent a couple of days, probably all up, on this, because it wasn't very comfortable doing it. I kept getting a quite stiff neck. But there was a kind of a yoga to it, like a meditation, the rhythm, and it. When I finished it, I really didn't have a sense of what I was making. It was just something to do to take me away from not being able to find the words that I needed. And out came this canoe, and I thought it was a pretty good metaphor for what I saw as the state of the Darling and where we are with the Darling, up Shit Creek without a paddle in a barbed wire canoe. And so once I'd done this, I was able to get back to say, because I'd said what I was feeling, I didn't find it so difficult to just transcribe what people had told me and to be true to their thoughts and words. I did spend a little bit of time thinking through what I was going to put on the didactic when we got to the exhibition part of the project.
What do you mean by didactic?
Just a little label that describes an artwork in a gallery.
Yep.
So what it is, its title, who produced it, and anything that the artist wants to say about it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, this very much became my artist statement. What am I going to say? I'm going to hold this up and say this is the state of the Darling, and that was in 2006.
Yeah.
And it's far worse now than it was then.
Yeah.
And that's the really frightening thing to me, how, because it was obviously, really, really, really obviously in a pretty dire state in 2006, and we knew that it was going to get much worse, but we weren't prepared, or I certainly wasn't prepared for how much worse it would get and how quickly. Yeah.
So you've published this book, and I'm looking forward to reading it.
It's an easy read, I hope.
Well, that was your intention, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. You said that you'd been writing policy statements and using a whole lot of language that may work for policy makers, but not necessarily the general public.
Mm-hmm.
So can you just generally describe the story? Can you tell briefly the story that came out in your...
Well, there isn't
book?
one story.
Okay.
There's lots of stories.
Yes.
Everybody had a different story and a different view, which is not surprising because they're all on different rivers in different parts of the northern part of the Murray-Darling Basin. The whole purpose was to take the problem of the Darling and the Murray-Darling by extension to people who would not normally have an interest in these things, and art is communication, and it was a way of translating all this technical gigabell stuff into something visual